Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Oh, here we go again. There we go again. Another loss for the Lightning at home. Brutal. Other overtime loss. Only the 12th in their last 13. But they were 12-2 before that. To go back to 2021 to get an overtime win. Woo, Lordy. Not a good start for the Tampa Bay Lightning last night at Benchmark International Arena. The crowd was hype. It's all good. So we will get into that. Eric Erlinson's going to join us here. Good morning to all you Petermans here. Welcome into a Monday edition of the JP Peterson Show. We really appreciate you guys jumping in. However you are watching, you can also comment on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook, and jump right in here like all of our Petermans are doing this morning. And my good buddy Nick Geddes, is with us this morning. How are you, partner?
I'm hanging in there. You know, I'm hanging in there every day these days.
Yeah.
But
baby, multiple jobs. Yeah, you're living the dream, baby.
Yeah. In a weekend, in a Sunday in particular, that I had like probably 4 screens going, 2 monitors, laptop, iPad, had it all going on because there was a lot of stuff happening yesterday. But of course, the big event was the Lightning game yesterday, and not a great start for your Tampa Bay Lightning, which unfortunately has been a common occurrence in the playoffs the last few years.
Man, oh man! And last night when they took the lead with 2 goals in 29 seconds, and the place was just buzzing, absolutely buzzing. It was. I'm like, okay, here we go. Now we're back to where we need to be. Now we're going to put the hammer down on these guys. The pressure was immense, and give a lot of credit to Dobes. He has been really, really good for a rookie netminder, as good as he has been against the Lightning the last 3 times. I got to stop saying that Vasilevsky is a clear favorite in this series.
I know it's only 1 game, but I think it was clear who the better goaltender was in that game yesterday.
Well, I'm not going to I thought Vasi was fantastic. I went back and watched a lot of the condensed game this morning, and once again, Vasi was fantastic. They had a lot of high danger chances. I know the numbers may say it was kind of even, and I think the Lightning certainly had more high danger chances in the first 2 periods. But I thought Vasi made some great saves, and I thought the ones that he gave up were more mistakes in coverage than anything else. I mean, you cannot leave Josh Anderson wide open right in front of the net. Right in front of the net, J.J. Moser. He's a couple strides away from you. You're not doing anything where you're hanging out. You might want to go look where the danger is coming from. A couple of Slavkovsky's goals, and those are on the power play, so guys are going to be open. It's 5-on-4. I get it, but a little bit too, a guy right in the middle of the ice at the bumper position, and nobody's there to lift his stick, not even close, not even within a stick's range of him on a power play.
Yeah. And it's the guguy who's been the best player for them all night.
Yeah.
Slavkovsky.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I thought, though, the overtime goal, Chernak started to get there.
Wasn't much of an effort.
Maybe he was probably a second behind there, and that's the difference in those moments. But in particular, I thought that was one maybe that Vasilevsky wants to have back.
That would be the only one.
Would be the one.
Yeah, maybe he was expecting a better effort to block that shot. I don't know.
To your point, though, the defensive coverage is just not.
He can't have that much when you're 1-on-1 with him. You can't have that much time and space.
Yeah, a shooter who's feeling it.
Yeah, it's a great shot, no question, far post. But as Brian Engblom said last night, Vasi really wasn't quite set yet, and that's on him. The other one, Slavkovsky on the backside, Vasi just couldn't get over enough. There were too many open holes. He had. No chance on that one. So I thought Vasi he was really good last night. I thought he was really good
in front.
Yeah. Oh, he made a ton of saves in front and high danger saves. I didn't think Dobes had to do as much, but I thought he was really, really good. And I thought the Lightning had a lot of pressure on him last night. But as Cooper said last night, this comes down to the Lightning being stupid. Those stupid penalties. Really, 4 offensive zone penalties. Come on now. You ain't going to win anything in the Stanley Cup doing that shit. That's just awful. That's for an experienced team. That's what you expect the youngest team in the league to do, which is what the Canadians are in the playoffs. That's what, we talked about all this experience and coaching and goaltending. None of that helped up last night. We looked like the very, very much the inexperienced team.
But isn't this how the Lightning have been playing, though, for the better part of the last 2-3 months? I mean, this is kind of what they've been. No, I mean, we talk about the experience and just wait till it gets to the playoffs. It'll be a different thing. Like, I don't know. There wasn't much about their game yesterday that I was like, oh yeah, this looks really different to like the way they've been playing. Like they went down 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
They had some silly penalties.
Yep.
The face-off circle is just an abomination for the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. 36-23.
That's no bueno.
That's 61-39% for the Canadians.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I'm going to continue to say it until it turns around. But I thought the worst player on the ice for the Tampa Bay Lightning yesterday was apparently your top line center in Braden Point. I mean, hello, missing in action. He played 18 minutes last night. Not a single shot. Not a shot on net. Not a shot attempt for Braden Point. This is a guy who has scored like the 4th or 5th most goals in the NHL in the last 3-4 seasons. And I can't get one shot attempt in a playoff game. And late in the game, he's not even taking faceoffs. That's where we're at.
It's bad.
I mean, I better hear after the season's over, and hopefully that's a couple months from now, that Braden Point's dealing with something with his hand or his wrist or something or his arm. That's the only explanation I got, because 21 is nowhere to be seen right now.
Yeah, he's MIA.
Hate to single someone out, but I'm just saying that's a very important part of your roster, and you're getting nothing from him.
Kucherov had a couple of points last night, a couple of assists. Yeah. I thought he played well. Thought he was a factor in the game, no question. Didn't take over the game, obviously, but I thought he was. How much did Kuch play last night?
17:38.
That's Yee asking. Play Kucherov more. He's obsessed with matchups, but we don't win if Kucherov isn't the best player on the ice.
Hagel was the best player on the ice, and Hagel had the most work. He played 25-27 last night for the Lightning.
Yeah, of course, they were killing penalties.
Penalties played a lot in that, but he had jump in his legs from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, the penalties were just really bad, inexperienced. The one Gensel takes at the end is just brutal. It's just brutal. And then in overtime, Marty takes the timeout, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, a little unorthodox, but smart.
Yeah,
really.
And they reset and they get that one last rush, because that penalty, I thought the Lightning played that the first minute 40 of that penalty really good. I thought they killed it well, did a really nice job, and then they just got that one last rush. And the guys were tired. They were on the ice for a long time, because Montreal, one of the things the Lightning do on their power play, when they go back and regroup, they take a lot of time. They allow the other team to substitute. Montreal just grabbed the puck and came right back at you. And I thought that those guys looked a little tired on the ice. McDonough really didn't get out to Slafkovsky on that one. So there's a couple times where I thought that they were really tired on the ice. So that can be a problem. It's just, there was a lot of, there were opportunities for the Lightning to take control of this game. Chernak had a golden opportunity early on, and Dobesh came way out of the net to make that stop. And he was really, really aggressive. And Eric Erlinson will join us here in a moment. But the one thing I really like, and you see this all the time, the Lightning are 8-5 in playoff series that they lose the first game at home. So it's not the end of the world. Coop does a great job at resetting, getting the matchups that he likes. And really, I thought the Lightning were the much better team in the first two periods. I don't know if it was young legs in the third or what really happened in the third. I think it was mostly because of the penalty time, but you've got to, you got to be better. That's where you've got to be at your best in the third period, and the Lightning were not.
Yeah, once the numbers at the end of the game kind of looked at it here, in scoring chances, Montreal had 15, Tampa Bay 11, but high danger, Montreal had 8. The Lightning had 1.
For the game?
For the entire game. And, yeah, That's how like lopsided it was on numbers. And then that kind of surprised me because I told you, I when you watched the game 5-on-5, it felt like the Lightning had control. Like Montreal had 5 shots well into the second period.
I looked at, but I did use Gemini last night, and they told me it was 8-7 high danger chances. It also told me they were 3 for 4 on the power play, which was wrong.
I don't know. Maybe there's some different.
Yeah, well, it is subjective. High danger chances are subjective.
I know, like even they have the scorometer. I look at that sometimes, and they had Montreal overwhelmingly was in favor on that one, like 70-30.
Really?
Yeah.
Expected goals?
Yeah.
Wow. Because the first 2 periods, I thought the Lightning were dominant in play, and maybe in the third period the Canadians caught up. But I guess that depends on which analytics you're using. All right, before Eric jumps in here, the Rays lose the weekend series to the Pirates. The only game they won was the one that Paul Skeens started on Saturday. They had a 2.5-hour rain delay and came back and won in a really, really gritty fashion in 13 innings. I think it's the first 13-inning game of the year for Major League Baseball. But Cedric Mullins with a 2-run shot. The bullpen was fantastic. They did a great job of keeping him in the game. Yeah. Kevin Kelly with a bunch of big strikeouts in that one. So, a series that could have gone either way. But
yeah, I don't walk away from that feeling discouraged. You played a really good. That's a first place team right now. First place Pirates baseball team, and you had to see Chandler Skeens. Obviously, Skeens got cut short, which was benefit to the Lightning or to the Rays. And then you had to deal with Mitch Keller on Sunday. So you went to the heart of their rotation. You're on the road. Good team playing good ball. And I think, unfortunately for the Rays, Saturday took a lot out of them in terms of the pin. And I knew Sunday going in, okay, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Shane McClanahan, who I thought of the games he's pitched so far, what is this, game 4 that he's gotten in there? Mm-hmm. I actually thought the stuff yesterday was the best it's been. He seemed to have more control. The fastball was touching 98 at times. The average fastball, I think, was 96, so that was good. But he just kind of fell apart again there in a 4th inning, 5th inning. That seems to be the common theme, but he's going to work through it. But then that meant that you had all that time for the bullpen to have to fill. Lineup couldn't get going yesterday, and you lose. So I think it was just your bullpen was taxed, unfortunately, and that did not help you. But I'm not discouraged by what I saw from them this week. He went 4-2 on the road trip.
That's good. They'll take that every time, even though you swept the White Sox and you could have taken 2 or 3 from the Pirates. It wasn't a terrible weekend at all. No. And Junior's really
had a good weekend.
Junior's heating up, and gosh, I don't think he's hit a home run on a strike yet. He's hitting off this off-speed stuff out of the yard, but that just goes to show how quick his hands are and how good he can react in the moment. And he's, I like the lineups are protecting him a hell of a lot better. So we'd like to see that. Chandler Simpson's still doing his thing. So I like where they're at. Where they come home with the Reds and the Twins this week. Is that right?
Yeah, Reds and Twins. I think the Reds just came off a sweep, so we'll see. But no, I think it's a good baseball team, and I think if anything, they've become a fun watch, because they have an identity.
God, yeah.
They don't strike out. They small ball teams to death. They seem to have the gritty nature to them. If they can just get the bullpen figured out, I think that's really the one thing that's missing for them right now.
Yeah. And they've got Uceda coming back probably pretty soon, I would think.
I think he just they just said he had a little bit of he still has some pain after a rehab outing this weekend.
Oh, no.
You know how it goes with the Rays pitchers. Like Pepio all of a sudden pops up on the 60-day.
God, really?
Yeah.
They've got to look at their sports, their physio, their medical.
They're just never going to be healthy.
But it's not only that. It's like they never know. Like Walls comes back early. Pepio obviously going to the 60 from the 15, which it seems like happens every single time. I don't know if they're just trying to mislead people or they just have no clue how injured their guys are or when they're coming back or how the rehab is going to go. It just seems they're always missing on whatever their projections might be. And I don't know how that whole thing works. It just seems weird. It never seems to be right, which is not good. So here's the thing about the Rays though, right now, they're 12-9 and the records, they're half game behind the Yankees. Okay. They were in first place last week. Everybody's happy. They've got a -6 run differential. So they're winning a lot of close games. You look at the Tigers are 12-10. They got a +19. The Twins are 11-11. They got a +12. And by the way, the Yankees are the only team in the American League East with a plus run differential. The Orioles are -7. The Blue Jays are -26. And the Red Sox are -15. The Guardians are 13-10 and a net 0. It's early season, so it's a little skewed. Like one game can really F you up, right? Mm-hmm. The Athletics are 11-11. People would talk, the A's are a good baseball team. They're -19. So you got to, the Braves are a +57. Yikes. The Dodgers are a +48. Those are teams that are playing really, really good. You look at the Central. This is funny. So the Reds are 14-8 with a -8. The Cardinals are 13-8 with a -8, the two teams on top. Then you get down to the Pirates with a +25 at 13-9. The Cubs are 12-9 with a +30. And the Brewers are in last place at 12-9 with a +19. Like, make that make sense. Make that make sense. So I think run differential, honestly, is a much better early season barometer of how good your team is, maybe. Is that fair? I know it can get skewed a little bit, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I think it comes down to the fact that it was just the pitching, like the bullpen at the beginning, I think skewed it a little bit.
Yeah, they had those big runs.
Yeah, and they've also been playing in a lot of close baseball games. Mm-hmm. I think that plays a role in it. But the only thing I care about right now is the win column, to be honest. Like 12-9 after 20, I think we all would tell you, like going in, if they're 12-9 after 20 games, 21 games, whatever, how do we feel? I think we feel pretty good about it right now. Yeah. And I think we're starting to see the Rays have an identity at least. And so far, I think so good. The offense is held it together and you're finally getting your best player going too. Yeah.
I like it. All right. Let's get back to Lightning as Eric Arlington from Lightning Insider joins us after another overtime home loss. Wow. Do you just copy and paste here, Eric, at this point? You don't have to do a whole lot of work with your stories, do you?
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Like it defies statistical anomalies. Like it's not even an anomaly anymore. It's like the expected, I guess. Yeah. It's crazy to think where they lost 10 of the last 11 home games. And the only win in that 11-game stretch was when they were down 3-0 to Florida. So it's a throwaway win. It doesn't even really count.
Yeah, really.
And then the overtime situation too is just it's bizarre. Maybe they're paying for their sins of 2020.
Yeah,
when they won all those overtime games, those multi-overtime games in the run to the 2022 Stanley Cup. It defies logic. Now they did it to themselves last night.
Yeah,
right. Like, come on, Jake Gensel can't do that. He is too smart of a player to make that play. Like. I sometimes I don't understand the thought process that goes through hockey players in general on a play like that. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Even if you get the puck, A, you can't score because you knocked it down with a high stick.
Right.
B, your teammate can't recover the puck because you knocked it down with a high stick.
All
you're doing is putting yourself in position to do what Gensel did. And it ended up costing them. And now, Vazzy was way off his angle. He gave Slavkovsky way too much room to the far side, and he found it. But, the type of penalties that they took, I mean, the killer one to me was Connor Geekie.
Yeah.
Right? End of the second period. You found your emotion. You're in the game. And, I don't blame Geekie for doing what he did because it's one of those, hey, this is the playoffs. I have to finish my check. That's Lane Hudson. I kind of have to finish this. And he got the stick up high. But you can't do it. The puck is gone.
Yeah.
It's 100 feet up the ice. You're 150 feet from your own net. And you take that penalty and you let Montreal right back in the game. Because, Montreal went from their first goal to that power play. Montreal had one shot in over 25 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Lightning were doing a good job of kind of controlling the game. And
I thought so. Yeah.
That penalty that Geekie took, you can't. It's time, situation, and all the stuff that, Chief talks about a lot.
Yeah.
And it was just bad, as John Cooper said, basically stupid penalties.
Yeah. I thought all the things we said before the series that were going to be in the Lightning's favor, coaching, penalty kill, right? Experience. We made a lot of stupid mistakes last night. We looked like the young, inexperienced, panicking playoff team with the penalties. Marty calls a late timeout or a timeout and over. I don't know what that was all about, but it worked.
It was the rest of his top guys, right?
Yeah. The rest of his top guys, so they could get one more rush on a power play. Guess what?
Yep.
They scored.
It worked. Yeah.
It scored. That's one coaching point. And I'm going to see. Well, what are your thoughts on Vasi last night? I thought every goal that he gave up was bad coverage more than, except for the last one. I would give you that. And I would expect, Chernak to be a little bit more aggressive in that spot, blocking that shot. But your thoughts on Vasi?
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good, actually. Right before they scored that goal at the end of the second period, I'm telling you, the one save he made, I forget who had the shot, but he's sliding to his left, and all of a sudden he reacts with the blocker and stretches it out. I can't tell you how good of a save that was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an incredible save. And then he had the panic or the desperation, right before the goal was scored, where he was able to keep the puck out of the net. I mean,
yeah,
I thought he was fine.
Ones. Yeah.
I mean, I went back and looked at the first goal, the Josh Anderson goal, a few times last night, and sometime again, it's been a problem with this team where their coverage is fine. They've got two guys in front of the net. The puck's coming down the wall. Gonçalves is engaged with Alex Carrier in a puck battle, and then all of a sudden, J.J. Moser slides to the corner.
Yeah,
Darren Radish goes behind the net. And Braden Point slides out to the wall. There's nobody in front of the net.
A gaping hole.
And then all of a sudden, there's two Montreal Canadiens in front of the net and nobody to protect it and nobody to challenge Anderson. I mean, if Anderson doesn't score that goal, he slides it across. I forget who was on to his left, and that's going to be a goal that way. I mean, way too many times this season, we've seen those sort of defensive breakdowns. And
that's from Moser, who's one of the best years of anybody in the league.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's inexplicable, right? Too much watching the puck is what happened there. And thinking, okay, great. You have confidence in your teammate to win that puck battle. That's great. What if he doesn't?
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 battle, right? It's literally a 50-50 battle. Great. You have confidence, but there's zero reason for Moser and Point in particular to be off to the side and not engaged in anything other than watching Gonçalves sort of work, against Carrier to try and win the puck. And what happens when Carrier gets it to the front of the net? You've lost your coverage. And, those are the mistakes that, we talk about the penalty kill. Obviously, it was a big part of the game last night, but that play, that can't happen either in a playoff game.
No.
When I look at, I know it's been now 5-6 years and it's tough to go back in time, obviously, but when I look at those runs when the Lightning were really, making noise in the playoffs and winning Stanley Cups, it feels like Braden Point was always at the heart of it, right? Led the team in goals, both of those runs. And I'm paying attention, to the last few postseasons for him and just the way this season has gone for him. And then watching him last night, and I mean, not a single shot on goal. I don't even know if he had an attempt. And what do you think is going on? How do you assess just Braden Point at the moment? Because I think he's just something that's really missing right now for them. It's just not getting really anything from him.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because that was kind of my story leading into the series, was Braden Point having the opportunity, because you see this a lot. Guys who have disappointing regular seasons who are able to find a way in the postseason. Yanni Gourde comes to mind. And I talked to Yanni about it too. In 2020, when Yanni he went 34 games without a goal. He finished the season with 12. He had 7 in the playoffs, including a couple of pretty big ones. And Point certainly has that capability. But you can't tell me he's not injured, right? He missed games early in the year. Then obviously we know about the knee injury.
Right.
But that doesn't account for the lack of awareness. That's the concerning part to me. The physical stuff is a physical stuff, and hockey players will play through just about anything. It's the mental, and it's not just him. It's a lot of guys on this team that aren't as mentally engaged in how the game is developing in front of them that they need to be better at. And Point in particular, I mean, really for a couple years now, he just hasn't been that electrifying type of player who's capable of backing off the D, splitting the D, working around the D. He hasn't been attacking the game the way that we're used to seeing from Braden Point. And, this year he has had the injuries. And I wonder if that's part of it. Like, you still see it. His knee is still taped, right? Like, it's still affecting him in some ways, but they need him. They need him and Cooch. And I know Cooch had a couple of assists last night, and a lot of people want to make a big deal about the lack of goal scoring, and that's fine. I mean, he's paid to produce offense, but he does produce offense. It's just not goal scoring. But you need to win a series. You're going to need your best players to be your best players at some point. It's great to get the depth scoring and everything like that. But you go back to that 23 series against the Maple Leafs, like their top guys scored in game 1, didn't score the rest of the series, and they still almost won it.
Yeah.
Right. They lost that series in 6 and lost all 3 games at home in overtime against the Leafs, and they got knocked out in 6. But, it was because their top guys didn't produce as that series went on. And you need Braden Point to produce. He has to be a goal producer for the Lightning to have success, and he's got it in him. He just has to find it again.
Yeah, that's concerning because he's got to be on the score sheet every night, and he rarely is anymore, which is disturbing. What did you think of the lineup last night with Geeky and James pulling in? I thought it was certainly a nod to Montreal's speed. Is that fair?
It's fair, yeah.
Is it an overcorrection?
I don't think so. Look, I want to see how
I'm asking, not implying.
Well, I want to see how James is today because he got tangled up there with our Bergerac guy and had to limp off the ice, and he was noticeably limping around as well. But to hear Coop after the game when he was asked about James, that it wasn't necessarily the worst thing that happened to him, that he get tangled up there and put a little bit of scare in him because he has to get over that mental hurdle, right? It's a mental hurdle sometimes that these guys have to get over. So we'll see what he ends up looking like today. But I think you need a guy like James, just in the fact that the speed, that's one thing, and you have to be able to match that. But he's a smart player. He's a really smart player. We've learned that this year. His ability to make plays below the goal line is really good, right? He can get back on the back check. You kind of need that a little bit. Hopefully he's okay today after that. The Geeky one was a surprise.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was sent back, and, Syracuse, they ended their season, I think, on Saturday, right? And they don't start again until Saturday. Their playoffs is Saturday. But he was sent back. And, on Saturday, this past Saturday, it was Mitchell Chafee and Jacob Peltier who were still with the team and practiced with them on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Sunday morning, you get the notification that those 2 guys went back and Geeky was coming up. But I don't think it was an oversimplification of trying to, look at it. I mean, Bjorkstrand's had a bad year.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's got some playoff pedigree to him that maybe he could make a difference no matter how bad. Everything we just talked about Point and Gord and guys who've had bad regular seasons that have found a way to make a difference in the playoffs. I think Bjorkstrand has that capability in him. He just has zero confidence this year. Yeah. And then the other option is Scott Sabrin. And I think by putting in James and Geeky and not Sabrin, I think that was John Cooper basically sending a message to the Canadians. We're not going to play that game.
Yeah.
We're going to play this other type of game.
Yeah.
Right. Because you didn't see, like, obviously the meeting a week and a half ago, all the stuff that broke out in the second period and everything like that. We all thought, oh, well, that's just playoff message sending that's going to carry over into game 1. Like, we barely saw any post whistle scrums.
No.
Right. So the Lightning did not want to get caught up in that game. And I think that's what that message was sending, is that we're going to try and play hockey because we believe we can beat you playing hockey. And they had a chance last night to do it. And you give up 3 power play goals in a game, You give up, you take the type of penalties that they took in that game, the odds of you winning are not very good. So we'll see what the lineup looks like on Tuesday, but I imagine it probably won't be too dissimilar, because here's the thing with like the Geeky penalty was bad, but knowing John Cooper, he doesn't punish players, unless it's a repeated situation.
Right.
We've seen this through the years. And, when you saw Geeky's line out there, midway through the third period of a tie game, right? He shows he has trust in his guys, and that helps build up their confidence. And, Connor Geeky is somebody that's supposed to be a big part of this team's future. Yeah. So we'll see what it looks like. But I don't know, unless there's injury situations outside of Charles-Edouard Destou, I would expect that we might see the same lineup for game 2.
Speaking of Destou, I thought that really could have been a 5-minute penalty there because of the launching. I mean, there was a clear launch there, I thought, was it Anderson? Yeah. I thought there was a clear launch and a high hit there. Maybe the two guys coming together, they thought there was some circumstance there that it takes away from the intentional, but it sure looked like he launched and brought an elbow up on Destou. What were your thoughts, and what are we hearing on Destou?
Well, we didn't hear anything on him, but the fact he didn't come back is probably pretty telling. From an objective standpoint, I understand why it wasn't a major, because the first contact is actually from the player that's behind Destou. So he kind of pushes him into, now that doesn't take any responsibility away from Anderson. He did come a long way to deliver that hit. He had Destou lined up. I didn't think it was a massive launch. The elbow certainly came up, but I don't think there was head contact. I don't think he made direct contact with the head. I thought it was kind of more here on the shoulder. So I understand why that was not given a major, and I don't think it's going to warrant any supplemental discipline. But Josh Anderson is the guy who stirred the pot in Montreal a week and a half ago, going after Kucherov. So, that's what he was doing. He was trying to do that again. And, Yanni Gourde goaded him into a penalty at one point. 6'5" Josh Anderson and 5'8" Yanni Gourde was kind of a sight to see, but that's Yanni Gourde. But I didn't have a problem with that not being a major, if I want to look at it from an objective standpoint.
All right, so moving forward, is it as simple as cut out the shenanigans and the stupid penalties and we'll win this series? What did you see in game 1 that you think will carry over into the rest of the series?
Well, it looks like it's going to turn into, like, we all think a run and gun, right? We all think it's going to be wide open. Neither coach wants that. I know, certainly Montreal is probably the better team as a whole off the rush than the Lightning are, and they would probably be a little bit more comfortable with it. But, the game that was played here a couple of weeks ago during that 7-game homestand, Montreal did not push the pace. They sat back and waited for Tampa Bay to make a mistake, right? And they did. Cirelli turned the puck over at center ice, and it turned into a game-winning goal. It finished 4-1, but that was really a 2-1 game.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, so was the game up in Montreal. If you take the second period out of it, Montreal's waiting for Tampa Bay to make a mistake. And we've seen that the Lightning will make mistakes, and that's what they have to cut out. So for me, this whole series, you got to take the dumb penalties out of the game. You have to take those out. The high sticking, like, those are just, they're not even penalties of aggression, right? They're just penalties of not making the right decision. So you take those out, and the puck management, it comes down to the puck management for me. And I thought they were okay. I didn't think there were too many egregious turnovers by Tampa Bay last night. But you have to be more situationally aware, and you have to be better in your coverage around the front of your own net. You can't give away goals like they did on the first one. You have to cut that stuff down. And I'm looking at the stats last night too. Like, the Lightning didn't generate a lot offensively. Like, I think they were barely over 1.0 expected goals. Now, they didn't give Montreal much. I think Montreal is about 1.4.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think the teams.
What did you see the high danger chances as? Or I've read a couple different things, and I'm not exactly sure which one's accurate.
Well, I haven't looked at
Money 8-7.
Puck. I haven't looked at Money Puck, but Natural Stat Trick had him 8-1, 5-on-5 for Montreal.
8-1. Okay.
8-1. But that was because, they did give up a couple of looks off the rush that Montreal missed the net on. So they don't even register as shots on goal. But that's what I saw. And again, I don't think the Lightning generated enough offensively 5-on-5. But I think this game or this series is better suited to stay 5-on-5 because I think the Lightning can be the better team 5-on-5. And there really just wasn't a lot of it last night either, right? Like Montreal had 5 power plays. I think the Lightning had 6. I mean, that's a lot of power plays for a playoff game.
I thought the Lightning had created a lot of chances early on. And Chernak had that golden opportunity and Dobesh came way out of his crease to make that. He's a super aggressive goalie, and scouting him, and I think at some point we'll be able to take advantage of that. But he's been good. The last 3 games he's played against the Lightning, he's been really, really good. And I don't know if I want to say the goalie edge goes to Montreal at this point, but
no, still sits with Tampa Bay. I still even after
sure
last
about
night,
that.
Yeah, I'm confident in that. I know Dobish has had a really good post-Olympic run. I think he's top 3, in goals against and top 3 in save percentage since the Olympics. So he's been really good. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, Vazzy's Vazzy. I mean, Vazzy certainly made his fair share of
great saves,
really good saves last night. And that's the thing with this team, man. They're, especially post-Olympics, they've fallen behind because they haven't been able to capitalize on the early scoring chances they do get. And then they make a mistake and they can't overcome it. Now, I know they did last night. They had the lead and then they tied the game after it was, 3-2 in the third. But they chased the game.
Oh, did we lose Eric? Wi-Fi.
And they have to chase the game too much, right? It's simple to just say, go out and score the first goal, right? It's just not that simple to do, but they had the chances to do it. If one of those goes in, maybe it rattles Dobesh early, right? The first shot on goal on the opening shift, Anthony Cirelli sends a shot in from the side. He kind of fumbled it.
Yeah.
Right. He kind of fumbled it and he had to look around for it. So, I think you can take advantage of that moving forward, but that's the one thing about playoff series. One team wins, the other team has to make their adjustments. And then that team that made the adjustment gets the win. So the other team that lost the game has to make the adjustments. It's just the nature of playoff hockey. And there's no momentum one way or the other. That's the one thing. But man, do the Lightning need to win on home ice or what?
Whew, Lordy.
They need to win a game on home ice.
Validate the tickets, for God's sakes. I mean, these people have spent a lot of money without seeing a win in a long, long time, man.
It's crazy.
I'm starting to feel for the fans. Well, I've been feeling for the fans, but it was an entertaining game last night. It was super dramatic. The place was buzzing. When they got that lead, I thought they were just really going to step on their neck, and they just couldn't. And, maybe it's something that we just haven't talked about, but you just kind of mentioned is they're not finishing. They're not finishing the opportunity. We keep saying Dobesh is great and he's been playing good. He really has. Well, you know what? There's 2 sides of that story. Beat the guy. Beat him.
Yeah. A lot of shots to his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lightning are better than that. But to your point, when Braden Point's not scoring and Gensel, you would hope to see him get on the board. Kucherov needs to shoot more. We know that. But you can't have Braden Point not even attempting a shot. That's not gonna fly.
Well, I go back to, I forget which game. It was one of the last 2 home games. I think it was the Detroit game, where John Cooper said that they're still stubborn in shooting the puck.
Yeah.
And not only is there stubbornness, that leads to hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hesitate just a tick, it allows the goalie to adjust to whatever shot he thinks is coming.
Yeah. Or someone block it.
Yeah, you've got to be more of a shot mentality. Look, one of the famous things that Guy Boucher used to talk about during the run in 2011, get pucks on net and create chaos.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that idea from time to time either. You can't always be looking for the goal that's going to show up on the highlight reel.
Right.
It's the playoffs.
Get them dirty.
It's the playoffs. Just doesn't matter how they go in. They just go in. And if you have more of those at the end of the night, you've done your job. It doesn't matter how in the playoffs, anytime you get a win, the end is going to justify the means.
Yeah.
Always. That's because that's all that matters. We can talk about process and everything like that in the playoffs. And I know it's still a thing that they talk about process over outcome. Nope. Playoffs, you need outcomes. And last night, the Lightning did not get the outcome. You know what's crazy? You were talking about how the place was buzzing. You know what it felt like to me? It was game 83. It did not feel like game 1 of the playoffs.
It didn't?
I did not have that feel. Like I didn't get that roar from the crowd at the beginning of the game. I don't know. Like it was just a weird vibe for me.
I didn't feel it over TV for what it's worth. I didn't get it either. And I don't know if it's like complacency within like the fan base and like it's just like, oh, it's game 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, that's human nature.
We do this every year.
It's 9 years in a row. I mean, I will say this. I know a few season ticket holders up in the mark who did not buy playoffs that always buy playoffs. Always buy playoffs. Now, this is just anecdotal. So I don't know, if our fan base is spoiled. I know this. It didn't sound like Buffalo. that was, I mean, and I'm not ripping our fans here, but they haven't been to the freaking playoffs in 15 years, so it's going to be a little different. It's like Bill's Mafia on ice, on meth,
on steroids,
on meth. I mean, it was insane, but it does go to show that that's a suffocating environment. And even though they were down 2-0, you kind of felt in that third period like, oh God, it's coming. It was like a tidal wave, and it was kind of the energy was coming from the stands, and the players met that, and they broke the ice, and then it was just Katie bar the door, forget about it. But I think the fans could definitely take it up a notch, and God forbid we point the finger at them. I mean, the team hasn't done shit on ice for a long time.
Well, maybe that's it.
Saying, but maybe we gotta give them a little boost, even more so. I don't know what it's going to take, but good God.
I think with the way things have gone, there's like a sense of foreboding that's kind of come over the crowd a little bit. Like they're almost expecting something bad to go wrong at the beginning.
Well, in overtime, when we went to overtime, I'm like, oh, everybody rolled their eyes. Oh God, here comes overtime.
Yeah,
what we used to own,
greatest enemy.
Yeah, not so much anymore. All right, partner, lightninginsider.com. Tell them how to get all the great playoff coverage.
Yeah, well, you can see the website right there. There's 2 plans to sign up for. There's a monthly plan that's $5.99. There's a yearly plan that's $49.99. Obviously, a lot going on right now. Hopefully, a long run that's going to take place despite the disappointment from game 1 of this series. So we'll get back at it today. Lightning be on practice. They pushed it back, so they'll be on the ice here in about an hour. We'll get updates. So all that stuff will be on the website. We got you covered daily here with everything. And again, most experienced hockey writer you can find in this market. And
that's right.
Just like you guys, support local.
The best local and longest tenured covering this team. The great Eric Erlinson at Eric Erlinson. You see it right down there. There it is. Tampa Tribune. Oh, what I wouldn't.
Had to pay homage.
I would die to have a printed Tampa Tribune in front of me right now. Oh, Lord. We need it. We need some more balanced coverage. That's for damn sure. Anyway, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Be well, boys.
lightninginsider.com. Yeah. Gio Provenzano's like, what happened to Point? He's a ghost. Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of, like I said, I know like I said it in the beginning, like I have to hear something after that he's got some kind of like big time injury that he's dealing with but again, it's like, I feel like the same thing about him like last year in the playoff run a bit. Like he was I think he had 2 goals, 0 assists, but just his overall game is just not to the level that you would expect it to be at. And like when the Lightning were really humming, like I said, like he was scoring all the big goals.
Yeah.
Scoring all the big goals. And your best players got to be your best players. Like we can debate about, matchups and all these other things, but eventually your best player's got to be your best player. And he's supposed to be your best goal scorer.
Yeah.
But he's not even close to it now.
Yeah, that's a huge hole. That is a huge hole.
And again,
maybe that's what
his defensive game is rough too. So it's not like he's helping out in a different area.
And he used to be a really good 200-foot player.
It's not been that for years now.
Yeah.
It's not been that for years.
Yeah.
I think we're just watching the decline of Braden Point. I just think that's what we're doing here. I don't think his game is aging well. I think for a player who had
the numbers would suggest that for sure.
For a player who his game is about speed, and as Eric was talking about, taking on defenders and putting them in a scramble and everything and putting pressure on them. Like, I thought he had a chance. Like, I think it might have been in the first or second period.
Yeah.
He actually comes in with speed down the left side.
And what did he do?
And I'm thinking, okay, cut to the middle, take a shot. No.
Pulls up.
He goes.
He pulls up every time.
Pulls up every time. And
he's got a speed. He had a speed advantage on that particular play. He was in front of his man coming down the right wing, and there was nobody with him, but he just pulled up.
Yeah.
Instead of either go to the net, go behind the net, create a play. But when you pull up like that, the speed advantage that you've taken, you've negated now.
Right.
Everybody's catching up.
Right.
And everybody scouts it. They know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So
it's a real thing that the Lightning don't have, as currently constructed, a player like they don't have like a Caulfield could obviously put you on your. He can scare you obviously, and he's got the speed to do it. Right. How Braden used to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think Slavkovsky's obviously capable of doing that. Suzuki's capable. They got a lot of guys in that lineup who are capable of doing it, and they're obviously, I think they're the youngest team in the playoffs. So I would expect that. It's an element that the Lightning aren't missing. But again, the Lightning, I think as we said, 5-on-5, we felt like they were the better team. It's just about being disciplined. Well,
when you look at the guys that Cooper started in bringing in Geeky.
Oh, I got to be honest.
Well, maybe he's looking for more scoring.
But I will say this. I
have to go to Peltier.
I think putting Connor Geeky into that lineup sent a bad message. I think it sent a bad message. And I think it was a misstep by Coop. This guy, I understand the idea of Connor Geeky sounds great to everybody. But what is Connor Geeky at this point? What has he done at the NHL level to prove to you that he gets a late call up to start game 1 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs against the Montreal Canadiens?
He had a nice breakaway goal the other day.
Come on. What was his only goal we saw all year? Like, he does nothing for me. I'm not trying to rip on him, but Scott Sabourin,
he had a great last game.
I said 2 months ago that if Scott Sabourin, this was after they acquired Corey Perry, I was like, they had to get Corey Perry because he's going to replace Scott Sabourin. And if Scott Sabourin is starting for you in the playoffs, then something's gone terribly wrong. Well, I'm sitting here today going, you know what? Scott Sabourin needs to be in the damn lineup.
Yeah.
Because you can say, oh, he's just a goon, nothing more. I tell you what, Scott Sabourin's game improved a lot. As he continued to play. And I thought he slotted nicely on that fourth line, and he played really well, on the wall and everything, and getting in puck battles, getting involved in the play.
Yeah.
Connor Geeky doesn't get involved in the play. He's just a passenger out there.
And he took a really bad penalty.
So I would have Scott Sabourin in that lineup tomorrow.
I think he will be.
I wouldn't think twice about it. This is the NHL playoffs, okay?
I can't
babysit Connor Geeky here.
No, I would agree with that. So we shall see. All right, we got to hit a break. We're late. Might have to condense a couple breaks here, but appreciate Eric Erlinson jumping in with us here. We're brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing. In fact, by listening to this great program that they support, you can get a special discount. Just go to pitchroofing.com, and you can schedule a free estimate. They will come out to you, educate you about the roofing business, tell you how much life you have left in your roof, when you need to replace it, what it's going to cost, if you need some repairs, and generally educate you on the process, because there's a lot of rip-off artists that are out there. And also, if a hurricane does come through, you've already met the folks that you want to do your roof. You have a relationship with them, and you can get them to get out to your house as fast as possible. So that's what they do over at Pitch Roofing. 5-star reviews, bonded, insured. They stand behind their work. A warranty is only good if the company's going to be around, and you know Pitch Roofing is going to be around. PitchRoofing.com. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you could trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here's we roll on this Monday after a disappointing first game one loss to the Habitants. We'll get into some Buccaneers talk here in the second half of the show as well. Mock drafts. Well, which players have been mocked most to the Buccaneers? We have those numbers for you. Nikki Numbers has compiled those numbers for you. And we don't like any of them. Shocking. That's not true. But it's going to be a very interesting draft. We're all leaning towards probably moving down. We shall see. But anyway, great place to watch the draft, to watch the Rays, to watch the Lightning all through the playoffs. It's Riveters. No better place to go for the Rays games. It's always happy hour because you get $6 Tito's. You get $6 Jacks. I'm already getting the hiccups thinking about drinking Jack shots. $6 margaritas and all the great food as well. 3 to 7 is always happy hour over there, and it is fantastic, not only for the drinks, but the food as well, because you get the $8 wings. You get the $8 chicken buffalo chicken dip, which is fantastic. Got lots of great specials on the happy hour food menu and, of course, the drink menu. So you don't have to spend a gazillion dollars going out to have a little bite to eat and a couple of pops. That's why we love Riveters. Great service, great food, great location right there on Dale Mabry, just south of the stadium, just north of 275. Go out there and tell them JP sent you. They always like to hear that. All right, partner, you want to do some comments here before we get into some of the other stuff?
Let's do it. Let's go all the way up to the top, I suppose.
Yes. Good morning to all you fellas. JS813 says, tough loss for the Bolts in game one, but plenty of hockey to be played. Yes, it's time for Coop to work his magic, get a win in game two, and we're right back on schedule. Lose game two at home? If they lose this first round series, we got to have some conversations.
There'll be some conversations.
There has to be some conversations.
There were like some levels of conversation after last year. This year would be a completely different animal. But let's not make it that. Let's not make it that. Please.
No, let's not make it that.
Let's not do that.
Let's not make that. Alejandro says, good morning, JP and you Petermans. While it was a rough weekend for the Rays and the Lightning, both teams showed promise. The Lightning did good last night, and even though we lost in OT, it was a close game. Love you. I love his positivity.
You have the best positivity.
Love that dude,
because
man.
even for us, it's tough to we're trying to call it as we see it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be just a complete, negative Nancy about everything.
Isolated. Like, home teams are what, 4-3 in the NHL so far?
I believe so. Yeah.
So, we're not the Lone Ranger here losing a home playoff
Dallas
game.
had an absolute stinker
disaster
against the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah. So it's not, sky's not falling yet. But given the fact that it's been 3 years in a row, they've been ousted in the first round.
Yeah. We're a little tense right now.
We're a little nervous.
I got to be honest. I watched that whole game and like the first three periods, I felt like I was just I was fine. From a fan standpoint, I was fine. It was like a playoff game. When overtime started, I had a knot in my stomach.
I did too.
I had the bad feeling about it.
I was literally especially after the time, I was like, if we can just get through this penalty kill, we're going to be okay.
Right.
We're just going to be okay. And then I'm just like, red light goes on. I'm like,
and I thought the way Marty, the timeout, as much as it was to rest his stars, I thought Marty may have thought, okay, this might be our best shot here.
I think he
did.
To
win this. It's early in the series. Let's not turn this into a marathon type of game. Let's finish it now. So let's reset. Let's draw something up. Let's see what our best looks are. And let's go out there and score a goal.
Super smart.
Already knows what he's doing. And by the way, Marty, I've been very convinced that ever since what happened now 13 years ago, and obviously different regime, I think there's a part of Marty that feels a little. I think he still he's obviously carried a chip on his shoulder, a massive one his entire career.
Yeah.
I still think the way that it was handled when he got traded and the Olympic snub, again, different regime, obviously. But I think he still has a little bit of, I don't know if animosity is the right word, but there's a little chip on him. It's I really want to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, yeah.
I want to stick it to them.
Oh,
I get that feeling from Marty.
No question. Big win for him. Obviously, I think the biggest of his career. He's got that team playing well, though.
Yeah.
Alejandro also says the Rays being in second place isn't bad and hope we can take 2 out of 3 against the Reds, and we have sucked against the NL Central. Hope we can beat the Reds and Twins to help us keep adding to our win total.
We are just going right through the NL Central, aren't we?
Yeah. Yee says, geez, these guys cannot win it all at home. Really sad for all of us who spent tons of money to watch them. Yeah, man. That's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's hard to wrap your head around that the Lightning literally have no home ice advantage in the playoffs anymore. Like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, what is that? Like,
and
10 of 11 is.
And what'd you say the number was before they went on this run of what they were at home?
Oh, there are overtime games before this overtime drought where they were 12-2.
Yeah,
it's almost exactly
which is not
flipped.
sustainable. But then you wouldn't think like this is sustainable. Like,
No,
I mean, that's like that's like 1 out of a million that those two outcomes would happen.
Right.
And they're both happening.
Hopefully it's now that we've regressed to the mean. Let's go back the other way.
I honestly, I just want to see the Lightning have a first period lead at this point. Like, when's the last time I just saw a first period lead? Like, play in front of the game and not chase it the entire time.
Yeah, but our scorers aren't scoring. And they've gotten opportunities. We're getting the opportunities, but we're not finishing. And I've been, yelling and screaming about how good Dobesh has been, but maybe it's just we're not shooting where we need to shoot.
No. And I do want to see I do want to see Kucherov put one in the back of the net too. I know he had the 2 assists last night, but you can't get around
5
it.
shots on goal.
You can't get around it. Like, he's got 1 goal in his last 17 playoff games.
I just, you're not going to obviously, you're not going to have any success that way.
Like, Point and Kucherov are not giving me goals.
Yeah. Listen, that's what they're paid to do. And if your top guys aren't your top guys, you got no chance.
Yeah. And I will say the other two that I'm starting to see some cracks in it too. I'm just pointing things out that I've noticed. And this goes back to the regular season too. I've started to see some cracks in the Radish-Moser pairing down the stretch. And Moser in particular, I don't think JJ Moser has had a good month of hockey.
He was bad last night.
He was bad.
Really bad.
He's really bad.
And like a couple of them were just like lackadaisical.
Yeah, just not
lackadaisical.
That's what I'm saying. And like the goal, what was it to oh my goodness, I'm like losing track of the goals. I think it was the one to make it. I think it was the game tying goal, maybe. Like, the Lightning had a million chances to like get the puck out of their zone, and they just kept like passing it around the wall behind Vasilevsky. And it was just like they were not on the same page, and like Moser was going back and forth. Eventually, Anderson gets the puck off the half wall, keeps the puck in, and ends up in the back of your net. Yeah. It's just stuff like that. Like, the urgency was just not there in that moment.
Urgency. That's part of it. And I don't want to, this is not on the fans, but is our building as intimidating as others?
It never has been. Even when we were humming it. I'm just being honest. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's not on them. The players are the ones who are getting paid to perform.
That's right. Yu says Geeky doesn't need to play tomorrow. Did nothing for us. Let's got to get some runs in. I agree. I think you'll see that. Coop play Kucherov more. He's obsessed with matchups. We didn't win if Kucherov isn't the best player on the ice. It's true.
I mean, you were on the penalty kill a lot yesterday, which played a role in it. But it is kind of interesting. Like 17 minutes of ice time for Nikita Kucherov. I don't know. That ain't the blueprint going forward, but that's on you. Stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah.
So you can get your best player on the ice more often.
Absolutely. 100%. Joel Forsland says home teams were 4-3 in the weekend. NHL playoffs. Home ice doesn't matter. Oh, it mattered to Buffalo last night. I'm going to say that. Pretty sure it was close to 500 for road teams the entire 2025 playoffs as well. I think you're right. Alex Nunn says Sugar Shane got to be better. Dude plays once every 5 games. Can't even give you 5 innings. Unacceptable. Come on now, Alex.
That's unfair.
Come on now, Alex. You hadn't pitched in 2.5 years, bro. Let's give a little bit of grace. A little bit of grace.
You got to give him grace. Like I said, the stuff yesterday
looks
was
good.
Really good. The command was better. If I could give anything, if I could critique honestly, Shane, I think right now, he's an emotional player. I think he's letting his emotions sometimes get the best of him on the mound. Like when things like start to, he makes one mistake and it on yesterday or
he starts beating himself
he made
up.
A really bad throwing error to first base where he shouldn't have thrown that
ball.
Should
never have thrown that ball.
And he knew it. And even yesterday, like when he gave up that big hit to Ozuna, he immediately off the bat was calling for the ball. He thought it was gone. I just think like mentally, he's still like trying to get over that hurdle a little bit. and he needs to sort of calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's a little on edge.
Yeah, I do. And you could see he's like in his interviews, he's like, okay, I've been a little hard on myself. I got to give myself more grace. But in the moment, he's not giving himself any grace.
Right.
When he stops and thinks about it, just because that's the way he's wired.
Yeah, he's a competitor, man. And he knows the last time he was himself, he was maybe the best left-handed pitcher in baseball. So he's got a high bar that he wants to achieve, but it's going to take some time, and we all have to be recognizing that.
Yeah, we do, but more than anything, he does. Yeah. Alex Nunez says, especially after team put all their hearts out to win in 13 innings the night prior. Yeah, you're looking for your starter to go out there and just shut him down and carry you to a win. But he's not that guy right now.
No.
He's not that guy right now. You
almost have to plan when he's out there. At best, you're going to get 5 innings out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, they were kind of in a bad situation there. Bonaventure 253 says, my hot take of the day, Tampa Bay needs to let the Rays walk and find a better deal in a new city. Only way to get rid of Stu for good. Biggest mistake was letting Stu keep 10%. Look, the Stu part, I'm told, is just it's more procedural for a lot of stuff in the deal, and eventually, they'll be bought out. So it's not like he has any say of anything that's going on.
I'm glad you've given up on everything and just want to let them find a better deal in a new city. Like,
I kind of pulled away the whole weekend from the stadium stuff. Just number one, to give my wife a break from it.
Also wanted just to enjoy
myself.
I wanted to enjoy the events that were going on this weekend.
Yeah. By the way, the Mike Allstott, I got this sweet hat. How
Sweet
about that?
hat.
Little reverse hat for Allstott 40. The Allstott Celebrity Weekend was absolutely insane again. Saw Cody Mock, O'Keefe, Jamel Dean. What other Buccaneers were there? Huh? Yeah, Jamel's been a staple. Great dude. He's so fun with everybody. Just I like Jamel a lot. I really do. As a person, super nice guy, very effervescent, always fun to be around. Always got a smile on his face. He's just probably too nice a guy to be a really badass football player, but we wish him the best. I saw Mike. I saw a lot of his old teammates, Joe Juravicius, just a whole bunch of Jason Manecki was out there. Who else was out there? It was just a ton of guys. Always good to see him. And that we took 7 hours to play golf at Bardmore. Luckily there's alcohol and food on almost every single hole.
That's what it's all about.
It's like you move from one party to the next 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 party. So yeah, it was super fun. Had a great weekend out there. And once again, the Mike Allstott Family Foundation has raised millions of dollars for local youth and local sports, and done a lot of great works in this area. And it's just same people keep showing up 20 years in a row for Mike. It's really, really fun and a great testament to what a great dude he is. So, so I kind of got away from the stadium stuff of last week. And look, there continues to be a lot of negativity out there, but it's funny. I still have not, and there's another essay that was out there this weekend. I want to read a little bit if we have time at the end. I still haven't seen any really good essays or columns against the stadium. Every time I read something, or somebody makes a point, it's always the same stuff, and it just seems very uneducated. It's always the same. Oh, we shouldn't be giving up $1 billion, and we have needs of our own that we need to be doing, and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll respond with, well, you get $2.8 billion back in tax revenue. You're creating a tax base that gives the money back, which you never get money back when you spend it out of the sits, right? But you're getting all of these public benefits. $150 million of state money to rebuild Hillsborough College. I mean, that's a huge freaking deal. You get to keep your raise. You get 10,000 permanent jobs, well-paying jobs. You get 40,000 construction jobs. You get, at the lowest end, $55 billion in economic impact. You create a 8 million square foot tax base. People, those studies don't mean anything. I mean, just use common sense. If you build 8 million square feet of hotels, restaurants, apartments, condos, and you create a ad valorem tax base, you pay a property tax, right? And property taxes are still going to be a thing. Don't worry about that. Those taxes, okay, you're creating something where there is nothing. I understand some of you don't want to believe any of these. You believe every impact study that say stadiums bring you nothing, but you don't believe any of the studies that say stadiums bring you some, even though I can concretely show you where the revenue comes from. So how do you argue against people like that? I don't believe the study. Well, I don't believe your study that says it doesn't do anything.
At the end of the day,
common sense says it does.
At the end of the day, like, you're in the weeds of, like, you know, the specifics of the deal, and a lot of other people are, and I'm not. I'm looking this at strictly, I'm a fan. At the end of the day, was there maybe a better way to go about this? Sure, there always is. Does anybody willingly just want to give billionaires taxpayer-funded stadiums? No, I feel like we should probably do a better job of trying to get away from that and find better solutions. I think we all agree with that. But from a fan's perspective, after dealing with this crap for over 20 years, and it's like the only thing you ever hear, and I continue to say, it's like the cloud that hangs over this franchise until it's settled. It's always there.
Yeah.
I just want it to be over. And I just want my baseball team to have some clarity on where they're going to be for the rest of their time, and know that we're going to have a nice new stadium and we can just move on from all of this. So sure, it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but I'm a fan. I just want the team to be here. So at this point, I just don't care. I just want it done.
Yeah. Most of the money that's coming is basically user fees and tourist taxes. And some of it is SITS money. That's just some of it, which we've already discussed is usable for new stadiums. It's just a lot of nitpicking.
And I think it's a little unfair too. The people that are against this too also love to, like, point out that, oh, these owners are nothing different they're no different than the old owner, and they're the same way, and blah blah blah. It's like, man, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like this is standard across the board. Again, I'm speaking as a fan. I haven't felt like disconnected to, like, the Rays, you know, from a community standpoint, and the way the ownership, like, you know, even if they're just doing it because they have to, like, okay, like, the other owner didn't do anything because he had to. Like, he just will. In fact, he spit in my face more often than not. And I hate to bring him back up because he's old news. But I feel like this ownership group take the stadium out of it. I think everything else they're doing has been really, really positive. I don't know how you cannot see that.
Well, I can't take the stadium out of it. It's like this group is promising and delivering $8 to $10 billion in their investment into, are they going to make money off it? Absolutely. They're putting in 58% as of right now for just the stadium. And all the, you know, and they're promising to take care of operating costs, any cost overruns. The last guy didn't do any of that. And it's the first time we've ever had a payroll over $100 million. Like, I mean, how you could possibly say these guys are the same as the others? It's like they could not be more different. Everybody that's in politics that's working with these guys, except for Joshua Wostall, there's one guy who's making a lot of noise and getting a lot of attention for it. By the way,
I don't think he's wrong, by the way, for, like, bringing up, like, I don't think it's a bad, like, even if you disagree with him, like, I don't think it's a bad thing to have, like, different opinions and, like, different, like, things on this, because, like, you can't, like, I guess, like, what I'm saying is, like, I understand from their standpoint, you can't just, like, overlook all of these questions and then you just go,
absolutely
okay,
not.
I'll sign. Like, I think it's,
but there's a way to go about it. To go on Twitter and go, may God have mercy on your soul if you support this.
Perhaps.
Get out of here with that.
But I think, like, discussion is needed for sure.
Absolutely.
Even if you agree, disagree.
But I was at the meeting the other day, and some of the things that he's pointing out are so nitpicky. It's like, oh, so your analysis says there's going to be $2.8 billion coming back to the taxpayers for their less than $1 billion contribution. But you said before it was $6 billion, so you were wrong. What does it matter if it's 6 or 2.8? And the guy fully admitted, hey, we made a computation error and we corrected it. So now it's 2.8 billion coming back to the taxpayers, which is almost 3 times what you're putting in. That's the point. And then he's like, oh, the people of West Tampa have not been heard and they don't like this idea. Nobody wants it in West Tampa. Complete lie. He said that. I'm like, you kidding me? The people of West Tampa, they're the ones that open up their homes to park cars for these RJS events, and some of them make as much money parking these cars to pay their freaking mortgage for the year. You don't think that they want 81 more baseball games? Like, and that's your constituency, and you don't even know that? And so much of what he's saying is nitpicky. I don't mind him cross-examining the people that are producing these numbers. That's his job. I get that. But the other, I listened to all the commissioners and they were questioning it too, but they were doing it in a very responsible and respectful way. I mean, I've seen the moments in there, the way he talks down to Bonnie Wise, the county attorney. It's deplorable. It's disrespectful. And the whole way he's going about it, he's getting all these things printed up saying, which I think the one that he put on there talking about what Ken Hagan said about the sits tax is completely taken out of context. Completely. And he knows damn well what he's doing. So I would disagree with his approach. His intentions, absolutely 100%. That's his job. His approach seems smarmy. It seems over the top, hyperbolic. He's grandstanding. He is a absolute cliche grandstanding politician. And that's what he's doing. And he'll get people to support him. The ones that don't want to, the class warfare classic stuff, don't want to give money to billionaires. I get it. But again, as we said, we gave $100 million to Jeffrey Vinnick, who's a billionaire, and he turned it into $1.2 billion in tax returns to the people in the Water Street project. And for many years, a lot of these stadium deals were bad. But this new live, work, play, surround the ballpark with a battery, with a Texas Live, these new public-private partnerships are working. And they're different from some of the old stadiums that in these old stadium reports that you've seen. They're way different. You just got to look at the numbers at the battery and how well that's working out for Cobb County. They're making tens of millions of dollars more than they put in every single year now.
I hate to jump around on comments here, but this comment came in late just now.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I think it's hilarious. Rick said Chris Braswell was supposed to be at the All-Star tournament, but he got stuck in traffic, did in his car, did in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well said.
That's the comment of the day, in my opinion.
Sorry, Chris. We're mean, but you are Velcro. Yeah. Wolstall has accused 2 commissioners of fraud and the Rays owners of lying. It's not needed. And he's just grandstanding. And many of you fall for that bullshit. And it's just deplorable, in my estimation. Airweed says, let's go Rays. Let's show up this week and support this team. Continue the great attendance. Yeah, what are we averaging? Like 22,000?
Something around there. And I mean, you played the two, it's been Cubs and it's been Yankees. So that plays a part in it for sure. Like, I'll be curious to see what it is for Reds and Twins. I'm not expecting it to be anything crazy. But I think you're getting a little kick up with the fact that the Trop is like, you have to, it's almost like you lose something to love it again. That whole thing. I think that's played a role in it. Certainly. The place looks great. Yeah. As good as it can possibly look.
Smells good.
Yeah.
It's brighter.
Yeah, it's brighter.
I'll probably be there this week. This will be my first time back in a long time. Probably since last year, 2 years ago, opener. Mm-hmm. The last time I think I was in there. I know, maybe I went to a game with you when I saw Stu.
Yeah.
He shook my hand.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
It was a great moment.
I thought we were leading towards something. Yeah. We really didn't, though.
Shocked the hell out of him. Said thanks for the $10 tickets. About freaking time. All right, we'll take another break. When we come back, Nick will opine on WrestleMania.
Oh, man.
And I have some thoughts on WrestleMania as well. Yeah. And ESPN's coverage of said WrestleMania. So we will do that. We were brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Sports. April is Diamond Month. Off all the time that they have here. Met the Petermans last night. the LaRue family. They were awesome and showed me her ring from the Golden Diamond Source. And he had proposed in Paris. Oh, my God. Yeah, so we thank them for shopping at the Golden Diamond Source. We thank them for being such loyal fans of the program. It's great to see you all last night. And really appreciate you. And so does the Golden Diamond Source. Appreciate all the Petermans that go in there and buy stuff and get their rings, because that's really, really cool. That's what it is all about. And we appreciate you guys. So head on over to the Golden Diamond Source. Gold is an all-time high. Bring in that old gold jewelry and get some cash money. It's the Golden Diamond Source, one of the great local companies here, 3800 Homerton Road, about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa, just over the bridge. Back at 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. As we roll on here, big thanks to the folks at Genesis of Tampa as I continue to enjoy my lovely GV70. Absolutely fantastic. Bought it last month. Got to skip a payment, too. That's always nice. That's really nice.
I'd love to skip a payment.
Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah. So got to skip a payment. Then we start up, and I have this. It's like brand new to me. You pick up these. It's a 2023, and got a great price on it. Absolutely fantastic. I never thought I could afford that type of luxury and performance, to be quite honest. But you get these pre-owned cars, and they're freaking like new. And especially with the Genesis, they're so highly rated, they do not break, and it doesn't matter if they do because I have a warranty up to 100,000 miles. So we got that going for me. It's a beautiful car. No more headache. The service, I don't even have to take it in. They come get it, give me a loaner car, and then bring it back. It's that's the valet service. That's what you get with the Murphy Auto Group. Genesis of Tampa is where you go to get these fantastic cars. So if you like a little bit of luxury, some transformational transportation, as I like to call it, you got to try these Genesis cars. They're absolutely fantastic. Take a test drive and have some fun out there. It's always a good time. They always got something going on there to get you a discount, whatever month it is. So tell them JP sent you. Great service, great deal, great cars. It's all there for you.
Well, I guess we could do this now because Chris Cole was asking my thoughts on WrestleMania.
Yes.
Over the weekend.
Can I just start with the ESPN thing?
Yeah, because that's part of what I was going to say. So
I'm watching SportsCenter, and they got, I forget who the female host was, and then they got an ex-wrestler, and then Joe Fortenbaugh, who's normally their
betting guy.
And they're in Vegas, and they're all dressed up in sequins. Men in sequins. Start there. And then they're going into a bit. Like I'm watching actual WWE, like they're arguing back and forth. They're actually like going into a bit. It's ESPN. You cover real sports, or you used to. And I don't like to, I know everybody loves wrestling, and I do understand that they are getting hurt. They are athletic, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's scripted. It's entertainment. It's no different than ESPN setting up on a movie set and going, hey, this is, and acting like it's real.
Wow.
Now you cover stuff that is real. And now all these NFL players are getting involved. Now Pat McAfee's in the middle of wrestling, which is ESPN, which covers real stuff. But now we have gambling, so I don't think it's real. And there's scripting, and where's the line, bro? At what point? At what point? It's all the same shit. Now it's not even, I don't even feel bad about the rest. Now it's like, well, when you're sitting up there at the NFL draft, is that scripted too? Is that like, I don't know. It's all so blurred for me. Well, I get it that ESPN wants to be in on it. It's popular. You want to make money, but it used to be, we don't cover that stuff like we do the other sports. Maybe we should, because maybe the other sports are scripted too.
I didn't look at it like that, but you have to. So obviously we hear this all the time. What's the E in ESPN stand for? Entertainment. ESPN is paying $1.6 billion over the next 5 years to stream all of WWE's premium live events. That's $325 million a year. So they have a lot of equity in this. But I just felt like this whole entire week building up to Mania, and if you watched ESPN over the week, it was like overkill.
Yeah.
It was too much. It's every show that WWE talent is on. I understand you're promoting the thing, but it's so surface level discussion to where if like you're a wrestling fan, you're kind of turned off by it. And if you're a casual fan or not even a fan, you probably have a preconceived notion of how you feel about professional wrestling anyway. And you probably are just watching it and you're like, this is silly. Get this off of my television. Like, that's how I feel like most people probably thought watching it this week. And then you have the Pat McAfee involvement in the main event of night one between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, which did not belong whatsoever. He was just plopped into this story. And why? Because, Pat's going to talk about it on his show all week. Yeah, well.
So that's what it's all about now.
That's what it's all about. And this is my thoughts about WrestleMania this weekend. It's a 2-night show. Night 2 yesterday was really, really well done. The main event yesterday between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, fantastic. One of the all-time classic WrestleMania matches. It ended naturally, no shenanigans. Great. Whole show felt fine. But night one, man, had me questioning why I even watch anymore. It had me questioning is this for me or who is this for? And that's my question. Like, who is this for now? And I talked on this show that ever since TKO has purchased this company and it's under the umbrella, you have ads all over the ring. You have ads on the turnbuckles. And this was the first WrestleMania on ESPN Unlimited. And their advertising was just in your face constantly. And it was like wrestling was interrupting the ad fest that they were putting on ESPN.
All sports are getting that way.
But this was terrible. This WrestleMania night one was 4 hours long. They went off the air at 10 o'clock Eastern. They came on at 6 o'clock. There was 1 hour and 26 minutes of wrestling. 7 matches. An hour and 26 minutes. That was it. There was an hour and 14 minutes of ad time.
Jesus Christ.
You had 12 less minutes of ads than actual wrestling on WrestleMania.
Yeah, that can't be.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, who and what was it? What were the big moments? What we had I Show Speed, doing some big move on Logan Paul. Why? Because everybody can get their phone out and put it on social media and it goes viral on TikTok. It's just about viral moments now for soulless people who don't actually like wrestling.
Yeah.
And all you do is piss off the people who love wrestling.
Yeah.
You gave none
There's
of
a lot of pandering to the
you're just pandering to the non-wrestling audience. And it's just
and they always say it's to grow. We're trying to grow it.
Yeah. And not to mention, you went back to Las Vegas for the second straight year of WrestleMania. Las Vegas is not a wrestling town. Yeah. In the history of wrestling, Las Vegas is not a wrestling town. And Las Vegas is not an easy place to get to, by the way.
And by the way, it's expensive as hell.
It's expensive as hell to the point where they were running angles on TV telling you that, we're overpricing this stuff for you, by the way. And you have Pat McAfee going on there like a used car salesman telling me a weekend before WrestleMania, 25% off tickets for WrestleMania night one. Get them while you can, as if anybody 2 days before Mania is going to be like, oh, the tickets are 25% off. I can just go from New York or Philadelphia or wherever and just go to Las Vegas.
Check the flights that are $1,000.
Let me, I can stay at the Bellagio now. Like, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, the whole business just feels soulless and it feels directionless. And we're catering to people who do not give a rip about wrestling. And we're endangering the actual fans that you have.
And I feel like this year, ESPN started that same shit at the Masters.
Yes.
Don't fucking touch my Masters.
Maybe it's an ESPN
with
issue.
your bullshit.
I don't know. It's all over the place. And by the way,
it is.
By the way, this WrestleMania,
because once they get your clutches in you, when they pay you the money, now they want to start driving the content.
Yeah.
And we want to start opening up the Masters to other people. We don't need to open it up to anybody else.
Beautiful as it is.
It's perfect as it is. The people that want to be part of it are part of it. We don't need anybody jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, and how
we don't need any more masses coming to get the gnomes.
The unfortunate reality is my hope for WrestleMania moving forward. I'm not optimistic because, as I said on the show, WrestleMania next year, right now, we'll see if it happens because of everything that's happening in the world around us. It's supposed to be in Saudi next year. You want to talk about soulless?
You've completely capitulated to nothing but money.
It's all about money. It's greed.
And the worst part about it is all these sports are now catering to the elite. Less seats, more of the high-priced premium areas.
Yep. Nobody can afford to go to these events.
No,
I'm going to less and less sporting events, concerts, everything across the board because it doesn't make financial sense for me to spend 3 hours of my time. Maybe I make a memory, but I made the memory by going in debt over it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, there has to be some correction for professional sports and sports in general, and just cutting out the quote cheap seats to make more room for the premium seats. Everything in our society is going now towards the elite. Less expensive restaurants, more high end restaurants. That's the only thing, and anything in the middle now is being squeezed out. It's either fast food or ultra luxury. The Outbacks of the world, are just hard to. And even now, going to those places,
I was going to say, you might as well go to a nice steakhouse than go to Outback at this point for what they charge you for a steak.
Mm-hmm.
That's meh.
Yeah. It's our sports are becoming grossly over commercialized. Grossly. That's why the people love the Masters so much,
right?
Because of the way they've protected the brand. But I understand only a few can do that. Only a few can do that. But still, I just think it's incumbent upon all of sports to make it more affordable, and I think the Rays are doing a good job of that as best they can. People say, "Oh, well, they want $1 billion." Well, look at all that they want to give back. Yeah. Lonnie Wilkins says, and you've got The Rock talking about his $7 in his pocket story all the time, yet he's sitting on the board pricing out every family and child and fan that would love to come to a show. Great point.
Yeah. That wrestling used to be all about the families and being able to have a nice family event. You could take a family of 4 or 5, whatever, and it could be somewhat affordable and it would be great. And now, again, I don't know who we're advertising for anymore. I don't know what we're doing anymore. And you know what? The crowd, other than the main event of yesterday's match and maybe a couple of others, crowd was non-existent, like in terms of sound.
Really?
It just felt lifeless. It's affecting everything.
Yeah. Lonnie says so many ads, no more backstage segments catering to elites.
Yeah. It was just like match would start, match would end, and then we immediately went into ads. There was no like backstage segments. Like we never saw backstage actually the entire WrestleMania weekend. We didn't have any legends that would usually pop up at Mania and do something cool, something fun. John Cena was the host of WrestleMania. They advertised that, and he's coming out here in a freaking $1 million suit with his hair looking all nice. I don't know. It's just not the John Cena that I want to see. And I'm not asking him. I know he's retired now from in ring, but you just trot him out there to be like a spokesperson for the company in his suit and everything to announce the attendance, which was down by like 15,000 people from the year prior. And we're supposed to get all excited about it. I don't know.
Chris Cole says, I don't understand why they gave Paige and Bree the tag team championship.
Chris Cole, I don't understand why they did a lot of things.
I don't know what that means.
That was a match of who won, but yeah, not the if to me, in my opinion, if you watch weekend and you weren't a wrestling fan, I don't think you became a wrestling fan because of what happened this weekend. And so at that point, was it an accomplishment? Was it a success? In their minds, probably, because even though they sold less tickets than last year at the rate they sold them for, they probably made more money. And that's all they care about.
Yeah, that's becoming increasingly evident in all sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take another break. We'll come back on the other side, get to the rest of your comments. I want to talk a little Bucs draft. Who do you think has been mocked to the Bucs the most? And do we like this particular player and why? So we will hit that when we come back. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Had another fan come up to me last night at the game and said, JP, thanks for all you do. Appreciate all the stadium stuff, but also went to Italiano Insurance, and they saved me over $400 on our homeowners insurance and $500 on our auto insurance. $900. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, folks. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. They do all the work. They shop all the different companies. You don't have to do that. Call all the 1-800 numbers and talk to robots. Nope. You can actually talk to a human being and ask them to shop your insurance, and they will do it for you. They do all the work. You save all the money. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. They also have an office in Boca Grande as well. Tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000. And all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right. Lots of nuggets to get to in this final little bit here, so stay tuned here. A little rapid fire local information coming your way. Get some of your comments in here as well. Big thanks to the folks at Kingmakers, Tampa.com. Check it out. That's where we are coming to you from right here. You can be part of this private club. Cafe Paradiso, the best Italian restaurant in the entire world. God, I love it over there. Go get yourself some great traditional Italian food from my man Pallottini. And third generation plumbing and AC, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling, your dynamic duo for your HVAC needs. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. All right, partner. So you had an interesting little tidbit there. There was a post making the rounds, which I reposted, about some of Eric Neander's missteps along the way. I think is that a fair way of saying this?
I suppose so.
Yeah, I mean he's done some great trades, but he hasn't been perfect. That's for sure. Nobody is. So these are some of the players that he has traded away that we might want back, and you have put together actually a list of a would-be lineup if we had it today. Here's a group of them: Xavier Edwards, career 301 hitter now with 65 stolen bases. Kyle Manzardo, 27 home runs last year.
Done nothing this year though.
Tyler Glasnow, pretty good, 1.69 ERA in postseason. Yeah, Luke Raley, 9th in the major league in OPS this season. Ahmad Rosario, 9th in MLB slugging this season. Jason Adams, 75 holds and a 1.69 ERA with San Diego. Is that good?
Pretty good, yeah.
Isaac Paredes, 20 home runs in 2025. Arozarena, 28 home runs and 36 stolen bases in 2025. Jeffrey Springs, 3-0 with a 1.46 ERA and 0.77 whip this season. Is that good? It is. Jose Caballero, 49 stolen bases, led MLB in 2025, 9 in 2026. Taj Bradley, 3-0 with a 1.63 this year. Is that good? Pretty good. Shane Baz signed a 5-year, $68 million extension with Baltimore. Hadn't been great this year, but not terrible. And Brandon Lau, 7 home runs, tied for 4th, 13th in the OPS. And don't forget, he traded Joe Ryan to the Twins in July of 2021. It was 48 wins and a 1.06 whip and a 10.1 Ks per 9 innings.
That's an unfair mention, in my opinion.
Why? Nelson Cruz did
well, it didn't work out, but they went for it that year.
We all applauded.
Yeah. He just didn't work out. Unfortunately, when he got here,
although
he became cooked.
Joe Ryan was that was
it's a price to pay, but that's the deadline.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Rays were in first place this year, so we got that going for us, which is nice.
Right.
So what is your would-be lineup? Have we made some other deals?
So I did this last night.
Hindsight 2020 lineup.
I did this last night, and again, obviously, you have to add the parameters of cost to certain things here.
Yes.
Yandy Diaz at DH. I almost feel I feel wrong even including this next player because this is a separate situation. But Wander Franco.
It's not on Neander.
It's not. This is obviously nothing on the Rays. This is on Wander and
just what could have been.
This is an alternate reality. Wander at short. You can replace him with whoever, with what's realistic. Belau at second, Junior at third, Aranda at first, Randy in left field, Rayleigh in right field, Fortes catching. I think Fortes is probably the best catcher of the last whatever. I don't know. And then I threw Chandler, Simpson, and center. And that was the lineup that I put together.
Wow.
After I did this thing, I don't think any of these trades impacted one or the other. So, and then the rotation was Snell, Glasnow, Rasmussen, McClanahan, and Taj Bradley / Steven Matz.
That's pretty good too.
And then you throw Adam in the bullpen. Because honestly, if you look at those trades there, I think the trade there that honestly had the biggest impact was, do you see the way the current Rays are? I think it's Jason Adam. I think that was a big, big loss to their bullpen. And he's been one of the best relievers in baseball. And he was one of the best relievers in baseball here. He's been even better in San Diego. But yeah, that's an alternate reality if the Rays didn't make all these moves.
Agreed. I like this team. I like watching this team. I like the small ball. A lot of guys I can root for if they get their bullpen a little bit more healthy with Uceda, get Pepio back. I think they can compete.
Yeah.
I still don't think this is a great baseball team, but I'm going to watch these young players grow, and it's fun, and they're a good group to watch. I just feel like if we can get over the top with this stadium and let these guys start bringing everything together and bringing more money to the table and do what they did in Atlanta, it could be so great. We're so on the precipice of doing this. And I hasten to say, if they do pass this, I don't think it's doom and gloom for Hillsborough County. Come on now, people. This money that they're using, we're talking about over 35 years, less than $1 billion. It bonds out to, a few million every year, tens of millions. I get it. But that's money that it's not like you're taking it from other spots. That this is money for the CIT. It's $3.5 billion projected, probably going to be close to $4.7 billion over the 15-year period because of growth. And it's just like, if they don't spend it on this, you really think they're going to fix all the roads and all those other things that they haven't been able to do for years and years? I mean, come on now. And you're creating more tax money. All right. I don't want to get too bogged down in that. So a couple rapid fire things here. Charles Barkley saying last night on the NBA playoffs, "This is boring, man. Thank God we got hockey." How do you think the rights holders feel about ESPN feels about him saying that on the air?
I don't care how they feel about him saying it.
Yeah, go try to take Chuck off. Let's see how that works out for you.
Scores of the games yesterday. So the Magic, by the way, go Magic. They picked up a 112-101 victory over the Pistons, the 60-win Pistons. Did not see that coming for the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
But that was relatively close game at times. The Celtics beat the 76ers 123-91. The Thunder beat the Suns 119-84, and the Spurs beat the Trailblazers 111-80 or to 98. And then the day before, we didn't have a single game that was decided by 10 points or less either.
It's just unwatchable. I tried to watch a little bit of it, and it's nothing but guys taking threes. There's nobody fighting for a rebound, nobody putting it in. It's such a boring watch, man. It's awful basketball. Like, people don't.
It's not my favorite product. That's for sure.
It's absolutely not. All right. So the Buccaneers, all the mock drafts. Who is the number one player that has been mocked to the Buccaneers?
So this was put together by a Twitter account, SF Data Niners. They had top 3 most mocked players for each pick based on 83 mock drafts that have been done during draft season. The most frequent player to pop up for the Bucs at 15 is Akeem Mesidor. 26.5% of the time. Second is Kenyon Sadiq at 20.5%. And third is Keldrick Falk at 18.1%. So Mesidor seems to be, obviously the data tells you right there, has been the most frequently talked about player associated with the Bucs. And even of note, Pewter Report dropped, I believe, their final 7-round mock yesterday.
Yep.
And they had Mesidor going to the Bucs, although they traded with the Steelers to take him at 21.
And they got 2 third-round picks back?
A third-round pick this year and a third-round pick next year to move down 6 spots.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Mesidor?
I really like Mesidor, the player. I like the production's all there, all that stuff. But I just can't get over the age. 25 years old for me is a little too much for me, a little too rich at 15. And he also has some injury history as well. And to me, it's like the Bucs, if anything, need to be getting a little bit more younger at some positions. I think that's fair to say. And they've kind of gotten older this offseason across the board. And you're just adding like the oldest rookie in the draft, I think, to the mix. Again, it's not like he's like a bad player. Or like, it wouldn't shock me like if Akeem Mesidor ended up having like the most sacks of like a rookie or something, because he's 25 years old and he has all the experience. And in theory, he's ready to play right away. It's just by the time you get to the end of his contract, his rookie contract, he's 30. I mean, it just depends what you're prioritizing, right? And you could say like, well, the Bucs should be in a win now window and maybe getting an experienced guy who can step right in and there's not as much of a learning curve there. Maybe that's what they're going for. I see that side of it, but I just don't think spending a 15th overall pick on a 25-year-old is a good use of that asset.
I would agree.
But I like the player a lot.
I like the player, and I think, what I want is production. But he has not produced consistently over his career. Only as he's gotten
also
older.
Very recently became an edge. Before that, he was an interior guy.
Yeah, which I don't necessarily fits the scheme.
Yeah, played opposite of Ruben Bain too.
Yes, yeah, on a very talented Miami defense.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen more sustain. There's a reason. It's not just because the players are old that we don't like taking them in the draft, but there's a reason why he's still there.
And I don't
because he hasn't popped earlier. Greatness shows up early.
I don't think Jason Licht, too, has taken a player in the first round. Like the oldest player he took in the first round, I think, so far has been Vita Vea, and he was 22 and change. So Jason's never done something like that before. And it's in general, I think, where we sit right now, historically, Jason goes best player available in the first round, and then he uses the rest of the draft to sort of address all the needs. And I don't think Akeem Mesidor is
he's not close to the best player.
He won't be the best player available. In fact, I think people need to really understand that the best player available at 15 is most likely going to be on offense.
I get that.
But that being said, I don't want them to take Kenyon Sadiq. I'm not for taking a tight end in the first round after you just paid Cade Otton money. If you didn't pay Cade and you still needed a tight end and Sadiq is there and he's the best tight end, sure, knock yourself out. Keldrick Falk was the third name mentioned. I think that's just an absolute. That would honestly be the worst case scenario if the Bucs fell in love with Keldrick Falk and took him.
He has 10 career sacks in 3 years at Auburn.
It's a no from me.
He's a 278-pound, 35-inch vertical, 4.67 40. He is a athletic RAS score phenomenon. He's a big guy. He's got speed. He's got potential, but he's far from
not even
polished.
And I think his
teammate
all. Kieran Crawford, who's another edge, I actually like him better than Keldrick Falk.
Yeah.
I just don't get the first round buzz for Keldrick Falk. I'll tell you this, and I think I said this on the show a couple weeks ago. The player that I've come around to now, and I think I'm locking this in today, if the Bucs stay with the 15th pick and go best player available and he's available, Vega Ione is the pick. That's the pick. The guard from Penn State. Because that is to me, and I think a lot of people agree, that's a top 10 player, maybe even top 7-ish player in the entire draft.
Yeah, but you're about to pay Cody Mock, and you just paid Ben Bredesen. Not a lot, but $7 million a year.
Ben has an out in 2027, and he's not making a lot anyway. The dead cap on that out, by the way, is 3.7, and it's Ben Bredesen. He's solid, but we're talking about a guy with all-pro potential.
I'm all for best player. I get that, especially if it's an interior lineman. I love all that, but where the Bucs are at right now, they are so desperate for playmakers on defense. I would rather they even take another, whether it's corner. Even though we've drafted 1,000 corner, but it's got to be an impact player on the defensive side.
There's not a corner, though, that you would take at 15.
No, there's not.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a corner. There's not an edge. There's not a linebacker that you really would be comfortable taking at 15. And so if you keep that pick, the best players are on offense.
What about defensive tackle?
There's not a defensive tackle I'm taking at 15. Sorry. And I don't think the Bucs have told you out front they don't really care for this defensive tackle class.
Yeah. Yeah, I really see them trading back.
I think that's the most likely scenario.
I think they're going to trade back. If they trade back, and you're picking up an extra 3rd round pick this year, I just, and you come out with Akeem Mesidor, I'm not going to be pissed. But I don't know. It's not going to be the home run that I'm looking for.
Well, it would be interesting to see if there's a team, because the Bucs are picking at 15, and I think that's notable because they're picking right in front of the New York Jets. The New York Jets are not going to take a quarterback with 2, but they could take a quarterback with 16, and it could be Ty Simpson. We don't know. You're right in front of the Jets. Is there a team after the Jets picking that falls in love with Ty Simpson and has interest in getting in front of the Jets at 16?
Let's hope so.
I don't know if that's possible. Like the Steelers, I think the Steelers, the report today is that Aaron Rodgers, there's no decision, and he's not expected to make a decision anytime soon. So he's still stringing the Steelers along. And today, the Steelers quarterback 1 is Will Howard. So the Steelers have no quarterback. So do the Steelers want to jump to 15 to take a quarterback? And they got a lot of picks that they need. They have 11 or 12 picks. That to me is a good spot right there, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns have the 24th pick. Do the Cardinals want to get back in the first round? I mean, there's a lot of ways this can go. But I think sitting at 15 in front of the Jets, that's your best bet, I think, is if someone falls in love with Ty Simpson to take him.
Do you think there's a chance that Ruben Bain drops to 15?
I don't think he'll fall because of the stuff that came out last week, because it sounds like that was already, even though we didn't know, the public, it sounds like all the teams knew this already and they considered this matter closed. I don't think Ruben makes it to 15 personally. especially like the Ravens are picking at 14. That's the other thing. And like the Ravens, they might be the team that takes Vega Ione from you. But if Ruben Bain's there, do they take him? That seems like a Ravens type move to make. So that's something you have to keep in mind. I don't think Ruben Bain makes it to 15.
All right. I think we're going to have Scott Reynolds on tomorrow, but I will get that out on social media. He'll hopefully jump in. What do we got? Some Nathan Elliott says, currently Akeem Mesidor is the most mocked to the Bucs. I do not like this pick. McDonald or Lee Hunter may not be available at 15. Giants trading Dexter Lawrence will affect what happens here. Yeah, that was a big trade that came out. Yeah, I'm hoping that there's an edge rusher that slips to the Buccaneers. Maybe it's Bain. I think it's possible with his arm length.
If Bain did
and the
slip
stuff
to
that
15,
came out.
I think you run, not walk, to
You pull
turn
the
that
trigger.
card in.
Yeah, you pull the trigger on that. Absolutely. Do you move up to get him?
That's the other thing. Is there, because the Bucs are kind of in no man's land at 15.
They are.
Like, does Jason say, like, you know what? We've got to get an impact player now, and we don't think we can get it at 15. Like, do we move
Well,
up?
it's the only way, if they're not going to spend any money, which clearly they're not. That's the only way to really get an impact player. And I'm for that.
It's kind of how like the Bengals, like I respect what the Bengals just did. They were sitting at 10 and that 10 spot, if you look at the way the draft is probably going to go, they're running the risk of not getting a blue chip player at 10, one of them. And so they said, you know what, we're just going to go trade that pick and go get the best
impact player
tackle in the
that's,
NFL.
Yeah.
Like I like the process there. We'll see if it works
Absolutely.
out, but I like the process.
I do too. I think we value our draft picks too much. Teams that value their draft picks are also teams that are cheap.
Keep in mind too, also some other things I saw yesterday. There's a lot of scuttlebutt that the Steelers, I'm telling you, are going to be an interesting team to watch this draft season. Both of their edge rushers, Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig, both of them, one or the other, could be on the trade market during the draft, was the reporting from yesterday. I would take either of them in Tampa Bay. Let me tell you that right now. Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig. And you don't have to trade a first round pick for those guys, by the way. We're talking mid-round picks.
Yeah.
I would be all for it.
Agreed. A couple other tidbits. FSU Hoops lands Colorado forward Sebastian Rancic, 6'11", rising junior, averaged 12 points, 5 rebounds per game last year. Luke Lauk's doing a great job. Also got another blue chip freshman the other day as well, kicking ass. USF had its spring game over the weekend, debuting its 2 new quarterbacks, Luke Kromenhoek, which FSU fans will remember. Kromenhoek, yeah, he was 4-star coming out. Michael Van Buren Jr. was the other quarterback. Both looked pretty good. They had a new coach in Brian Hartline, 41 new players from the transfer portal, several top returners. But, of course, they lost Byron Brown to Auburn. But Kromenhoek and Van Buren, who was at Mississippi State and LSU, will be battling through the fall. And maybe a 2-quarterback system, according to Hartline. So, there's a lot to replace at USF, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more on that as we go through the week. By the way, coming up on Friday night, speaking of the Orlando Magic, we talked a little bit about the NBA playoffs. WMOR TV will have their second Rays game. They've been doing Magic games as well, and they'll have their second Rays game against the Twins, and that will be Friday night. Usually that's Apple TV night, but you'll get a local game right on MOR TV, your new local sports station, as the Rays and Twins play on Friday night. So don't have to worry about getting Apple TV for that one. You can watch it on MOR TV. How about that?
There you go.
That's pretty good. What else we got to get to? Victor had been on the ice for practice today, but it was working on the side with coaches. Did not, as far as we know, work with the rest of the team.
He did not. He was there by himself.
Again, I wouldn't expect him to be back in the playoffs, but you never know. They said he'll be back when he decides.
Dastu was not at practice today. It looks like it's Declan Carlisle who's been working with Lilleberg. So it seems like he's going to draw in, not Crozier.
And Kansas City has approved up to $600 million in public funding for a new downtown stadium for the Royals. It is a roofless $1.9 billion ballpark project, putting the Royals in their strongest position yet to secure a finalized stadium deal. So they're moving from the outskirts to downtown. and trying to do a similar thing to what the Rays are doing. That's what everybody's doing, and it's worth the public money because you get money back. That's how it works. You're not giving money, you're investing the money. All right. Anything else we need to get to?
I think we hit it all. Rays tonight against the Reds, as we said. It's going to be going to be the Jesse Schlottens game.
That worked out.
That worked out well against the White Sox, and so he'll be facing the Reds and Rhett Lauder on the mound for them. So, no off days here.
Yep. All right. What else we got? Jumbo FBS, haven't seen you in here, says we're all excited about David Walker. I think he can come back from injury and be ready, really good on the edge. We hope so. Let's don't hold our breath on that, though. Let's don't hold our breath.
Yeah, it's like Jason telling us last week that when it comes to draft picks, we got to judge them after 3 years. And so I'm like, so you're telling me that you're still believing in Chris Braswell?
Maybe. No, he's going to have a great year. You watch. Breakout season for Chris Braswell.
I'm sure he's putting all this muscle.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for jumping in. As always, if you missed anything, you can always check it out as a podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Please like and subscribe and share the show wherever you can. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Go Rays.